2 days ago, my daughter and I met the man, the legend, Jonathan Kent, aka John Schneider, right here at the El Paso Comic Con. Guys, I had no idea this thing was going on. Special shout out to my buddy Tony for giving me the heads up. He had posted a picture of him and John on Instagram. Obviously, they were at a Comic Con. I saw the picture, didn't think anything of it, so I just commented and said, "Hey, congratulations! I'm super jealous." And my buddy responded right away and said, "Hey, he's here in town. You should go." So I looked it up, and yes, the Comic-Con was happening. He was here. I was able to buy tickets for the very last day. My daughter and I showed up first thing in the morning. They already had a sign saying that he was only gonna be here a couple of hours. So I told my daughter, look, I'll stand in line. We'll be first. You can walk around. And guys, I felt like I was ready. I felt like, hey, I know what I'm gonna ask him. I've been wanting to meet him for a very long time. And after a little while, there's this voice behind me that just says, hey, good morning. And guys, I immediately felt like I was in an episode of Smallville. I knew the voice, I knew the tone. He sounded exactly like he did in the show. I turn around and my face is like in his chest, like his chest is all I see. And then I look up and there's this, legend just standing right before me. My daughter, when she got there, we were just both completely starstruck. I couldn't even get the words out. The only thing I remember saying is, sir, it's an honor. That's all I said. And I know he said a couple of things and he said a couple of things to my daughter, but we were completely speechless. The words could not come out. So, it was so inspiring, so epic. We've been celebrating, all week, guys. And that's what this episode, originally I wanted to celebrate because, guys, we just hit 100,000 subscribers. I am just completely grateful and blessed. All of you guys, I feel like we are the Justice League of YouTube. None of this would be possible without you. And I'm just, again, guys, I'm really honored. I'm grateful. Thank you so much for believing. Thank you for watching. And so, to celebrate, I thought, well, hey, since we hit 100,000 subscribers, I wanna do a video on the 100th episode of Smallville. I've kind of mentioned that is my favorite episode, but I kind of wanted to go more into detail as to why. But the main reason is because of Jonathan Kent. It was the one moment, the one piece of Superman history that I knew would happen eventually. And I remember watching the original Superman when Jonathan Kent, he has his moment. Even as a little kid, I was heartbroken. I thought that was the most saddest moment ever. But then, you fast forward, and when I got to experience that in Smallville, I feel like Smallville just took it to a whole other level. When I watched that episode for the first time, I felt like the beginning was so rushed. Clark just kind of opens up, tells Lana everything, takes her to the fortress, proposes. And, at the time I thought, something's gonna happen to Lana. And it did. When Lana gets hit, I thought, no way, this cannot be happening. There's a twist in here somewhere. And obviously, Clark goes to the fortress, he's begging for a second chance. And, in that moment, I thought, okay, this could possibly be, the episode, the scene, the moment that I know is true, that I know that would eventually happen.
I'm simply saying that life finds a way.
I feel like that was kind of the handing of the life torch when Jonathan drives by Lana, you know what I mean? And I thought, oh no, this is it, it's gonna happen. But then Jonathan ends up in the barn with Lionel, and I thought, okay, maybe not. Maybe there's something else that's gonna happen. Maybe Jonathan is just gonna have another, close call, because at this point in the story, we already knew he had heart trouble. He had been in the hospital a couple of times. So I thought, okay, maybe this is what this is. Something else is gonna happen, or maybe Lionel dies. I didn't know. I knew nothing about Smallville at the time. So Lionel tries to blackmail him. Jonathan loses his temper, which he's also done in other episodes. But, man, that moment when he just, the little gesture he does with his body, guys, I'm not joking. My eyes immediately started watering. I knew that whole, this was just Smallville's take on everything. This is Smallville doing its thing and basically taking, the passing of Jonathan just to a whole other, just epic level. That entire sequence, and of course, Clark and Martha getting home. I couldn't stop. My eyes were just, I'm about 215 pounds, and I was just drenched, guys. That was the most heartbreaking moment in Smallville for me. And then we have the funeral, which was, on an even bigger level. And the whole, Clark, just grabbing the dirt and just, oh guys, I mean, that entire episode, I've watched it so many times. And every time I see it, it is completely, it's all over again. It just, that one little, as soon as he gives that little arm gesture, that little motion, that's what I wanted to ask him. I wanted to just, I wanted to know how much was written, how much was him. And I mean, obviously, John is just an extremely talented actor. He's been in the business for so long. He's a musician. He's even directed an episode before. He's done everything. And so, but guys, I feel like I can't go back in time. I had my chance. I blew it. I was starstruck. I was speechless. And so my apologies for that. But oh man, it was this was just a really, really, amazing week, guys. I just could not believe the way everything happened, finding out last minute, being able to go, working it out with this episode, 100,000 subscribers, 100th episode. And I mean, again, guys, I'm just so grateful. Thank you so much. I need to stop because then I'm gonna, yeah. But, it was just an unbelievable week. And, just thank you guys. Thank you so much. And to top it off, right at the end of as we were leaving the Comic-Con, my daughter and our new super friend Ray, they while they were walking around, they bought me a couple of goodies. And they were supposed to be buying stuff for them, and they ended up buying me a couple of things. And guys, I got my first ever He-Man sword. I've been wanting a He-Man sword for a very long time. I'm very picky about the design of the He-Man sword because for me, I go back to the original cartoons. And there was a guy there with the booth, and he basically made these things out of wood, just hand carved, just very nice guy, super talented. So I have my He-Man sword. I got to see my dream car, guys. The Knight Rider car is my absolute dream car. You know how YouTube has those little, I haven't even turned it on yet, but the whole buy me a coffee. I don't have that. I don't drink coffee, never have. But if you want to buy me or send me a Knight Rider car, guys, please just send me an email and I will happily accept that. That is my dream car. So again, Jonathan Kent, He-Man sword, Knight Rider car. And, just guys, it was awesome, guys. It was so epic. Mr. John Schneider, thank you for all that you do, sir. Thank you for your time. Thank you for coming to El Paso, to the El Paso Comic-Con. Congrats to all of you. Congrats to everyone involved. Thank you for making a dream come true for myself, my daughter. We are truly grateful. We are truly blessed. Guys, to all of you, again, I'm going to keep saying this over and over and over. We are the Justice League of YouTube. Thank you for watching. Thank you for believing. New episodes every week. And we'll see you soon. Cheers.